After a September with some amazing fight nights and no numbered cards, the UFC returned with UFC 320 in Las Vegas, with a stacked card headlined by two title bouts, in a heated rematch where Magomed Ankalaev was taking on Alex Pereira in their rematch from earlier in the year, and in the co-main event Merab Dvalishvili was looking to go ahead and stamp his claim for Fighter of the Year versus Corey Sandhagen. This was alongside some fun fights on a stacked card. Could UFC 320 deliver a card for the ages? Let's find out. This is the Fight Franchise and the recap and review of UFC 320. The first fight of the night, Veronica Hardy was taking on Brogan Walker, where Hardy would use her skill and technique across the fight in all 3 rounds to win a great decision to kick off the early prelims. Ramiz Brahimaj was taking on Austin Vanderford, where it was a tentative first round where both guys fought a measured fight with Vanderford getting a takedown and control, but not much damage. The second round action picked up with both guys trading, with Brahimaj cutting Vanderford, but he persisted with the takedowns where Brahimaj got the guillotine and the tap to secure a great submission win. Next up, a bantamweight bout where Chris Gutierrez took on Farid Basharat, where Basharat done the better across the fight in the first 2 rounds, where Gutierrez won the final round, where Basharat won the decision and remains undefeated and on a 5-fight win streak in the UFC. Next up, a women's bantamweight bout where Macy Chasson took in Yana Santos, where across a 3-round fight, Santos did the better work, landing the more damaging shots in the fight to win the decision. The final fights of the early prelims, Punahele Soriano took on Nikolai Veretnikov, where across a 3-round fight, Soriano used his grappling and striking to beat upon Veretnikov to win a 30-27 decision on all 3 judges' scorecards in a great performance. That brought the end to some lackluster early prelim action. The prelims started with Edmund Shabazian taking on Andre Muniz, where both men traded on the feet, with Muniz looking to grapple with Shabazian avoiding the grappling, where both guys were stunning each other, where towards the end of the first round, a huge shot from Shabazian sent Muniz crashing to the canvas, where Shabazian followed with ground and pound and the ref jumped in, where Shabazian kicked off the early prelims with an amazing first round TKO. Next up, the returning Patchy Mix, after a terrible UFC debut, was taking on KSW and Polish prospect Jakub Wicklasz, where both guys squared off in a grapple-heavy contest where in moments of striking both landed on each other, where the first round Wicklasz did the better overall but not much damage. The second round Mix tried to do more with his grappling, with Wicklasz looking for a guillotine. It was competitive and could have gone either guy's way, but many had Mix winning the round. The final round Patchy Mix did the more with the control and not getting too much damage off, where Jakub Wicklasz won the decision, with the commentary and many fans thinking it was a robbery. It was a close fight which I thought Patchy Mix won, however he is now 0-2 in the UFC, which is a horrible start to his UFC career. As for Jakub Wicklasz, let's see what he can do from here. Next up, a hard hitting bout where Daniel Santos was taking on Yu Ju Sang, where Santos was throwing huge attacks and an abundance of spinning attacks which were missing, where Ju was taunting the missed attacks and had a relaxed approach, mocking Santos, who got a takedown and didn't do much with it. Round 2, both men came out where Ju was again too relaxed, with Santos storming at Ju and landing a huge shot, dropping Ju and landing up follow-up shots to put him out of there and take his undefeated record in a great performance and win for Daniel Santos. The final fight of the prelims, the hard-hitting Atiba Gutierrez was taking on Tristan Vines, where Gutierrez landed hard and big early, where Vines shot and ate a huge knee, where he followed up, where huge elbows from Gutierrez rocked Vines, where he threw down Vines and landed ground and pound to get the amazing TKO within 1 minute and 40 seconds to end some fantastic prelim action. The main card started with a middleweight bout between Abbas Magomedov taking on Joe Pyfer, where round 1 Abbas dominated on the ground, reversing a failed takedown from Pyfer, where the majority of the round Abbas controlled and dominated. However, with a few seconds left in the round, Pyfer got back up and landed shots to end the round. Round 2, Abbas looked fatigued, where from the jump Pyfer put on the pressure and landed big, dropping Magomedov, where Pyfer looked for an arm triangle on the ground, where he followed up with a rear naked choke to get the amazing submission win in a fight where he fought back from some round 1 adversity, where Pyfer can finally work his way into some matchups in the middleweight rankings. Josh Emmett was up against Yusuf Zalal, where at range Zalal was moving loads, with Emmett struggling with the distance, where Zalal got a fast takedown where he was on the back of Emmett and moved to an armbar where it was a quick tap from Emmett, which was anticlimactic but a very impressive win for Zalal, who has shot himself up the featherweight rankings towards the title picture in a fantastic career resurgence. The featured fight was a fan favourite fight, and a fight many of us was just waiting for the fight to deliver a war. Yuri Prohaska took on Khalil Roundtree, where Yuri was very jittery yet patient, which favoured Khalil, who was the faster in the exchanges, landing the bigger on Yuri, whose footing didn't seem underneath him, where Khalil landed big in rounds 1 and 2 to do the better and was looking like he was cruising to a victory. Round 3, Yuri came out knowing he needed a finish and threw everything at Khalil, landing massive on Khalil, who was being stung and pieced up trying to trade back with Yuri, where it was the war we finally wanted, where Yuri was drowning Khalil, who was exhausted, where he was cracking Khalil, who was out on his feet, where a massive shot on the chin sent Khalil face planting resulting in arguably the round of the year and one of the best KOs of the year. Yuri brought the war to Khalil and destroyed him, where Yuri is back in the title picture and showed why he is one of the best light heavyweights in the world and one of the most exciting fighters of all time. The co-main event, Merab Dvalishvili was looking to defend his title versus Corey Sandhagen, where the first round Corey did great, stuffing Merab's takedowns and piecing him up at distance to most certainly take round 1. Round 2, Merab came out fast, rushing Sandhagen, going for a takedown and throwing huge strikes, where he stunned Corey and rocked him, landing a flurry of dominating strikes where the ref almost jumped in, where Corey survived, where it was most certainly in many people's eyes a dominant 10-8 round. Round 3, Merab further dominated with his grappling, where Corey just looked in survival mode. Round 4, however, Corey fought back and his best round since the first, and was most definitely a swing round which either man could have won. Round 5, Merab pulled ahead with his wrestling to ragdoll and throw around Corey, who at the end of the fight landed some strikes, but it wasn't enough, where Merab won the unanimous decision to defend his title in a great win. It looks like Merab is unbeatable and is on course to an all-time top 10 status, with a 14-fight win streak where it looks like he wants POTR next. The main event saw Magomed Ankalaev looking to defend his title against former champ Alex Pereira. With trash talk online and in person, this fight was heated, with neither man liking each other, with a lot on the line including the world title. Alex Pereira came out fast and aggressive and pushed forward, landing heavy on Ankalaev, who was back up against the fence, where Pereira landed a huge punch behind Ankalaev's ear which stunned Ankalaev, who panic shot for a takedown, where Pereira stuffed the takedown and was landing ground and pound, with vicious elbows where the ref jumped in and stopped the fight, with an amazing fast TKO from Alex Pereira, who adds to his amazing legacy in the UFC. After the fight, Alex Pereira paid respect to Arthur Jones, and most likely up next we'll see him against Carlos Ulberg, a teammate of rival Adesanya, who has a storied history with Pereira. That fast finish brought the end to a great night of fights. UFC 320, after a while without a massive pay-per-view, delivered a spectacular night of fights. The early prelims wasn't the best, but the prelims delivered with 3 amazing finishes. The main card was great with drama all night, with Pfeiffer and Zalal getting amazing finishes, Yuri giving us a round of the year and an epic KO. The title fights gave us talking points and drama, and to see Alex Pereira back on top in fast and epic fashion was amazing stuff. With an amazing prelims for the most part and a main card which delivered, if we was to grade this card, it gets an A-. It may be recency bias which gets this card a high score. I just think it delivered to us an epic night of fights, one of which we haven't seen in ages on a numbered card. Up next, UFC 321 in a few weeks, where we see who is the heavyweight king of the UFC.